Okay, now we're recording, my bad. So yeah, just to recap, we're working on that Dell Latitude CPIE-01 on autopsy. And if you haven't downloaded it, it's out under course documents, additional resources, under the OneDrive file share. And then it'll say for Dell Latitude CPIE.E01, not E02. That's the one you want, E01. And if you have problems like mine you should be seeing everything out here, but it looks like a lot of people, it did a minimalized version. So I suggested that you guys go to tools, run ingest modules, and then do a rerun and make sure you have everything except cyber triage, malware, and Classo on there. Okay, so sorry about the recap, but it helps if I actually click record when I'm talking. So, but yeah, so yours is going on that one. I can at least show you guys where stuff should be, though. So yeah, rerun your images, and you should be seeing a whole bunch more. If you can see this, it goes all the way out across, not just a couple of things there. You should be getting the name, and if you click on it, can you see how it's dropped down this whole bunch of information down here at the bottom?
Yep.
When you click, well, you probably can't click on yours now because it's running your ingest. But when you click on it and you come back, see if you can actually get this information on the bottom here. So they ask you about the hash. We don't need that because that's just that's an exercise in verification of your the hash of your image. So on those questions that are on the lab, I'm just going to put a little mark next to that and say that you don't need to answer that. But if you look here, right there, what operating system is there? Microsoft Windows XP listed right there. And then the next thing it asks us is, install date, exactly. So where do we find that? If we look down, I thought it was in here, but it might be in another different spot. We might have to look in a couple of different spots for this one. But that's the interesting thing about running through. Let's try OS accounts. Okay, so we have some OS date on when these were created. So I'm guessing since every single one of these were created at the same date, including the guest, that would point to the installation date of when everything came up, because there's your administrator and your guest, and those are counts that are created when you first create your when you first install your operating system. So that'd definitely be, since if you look at the times that are created, it's the exact same time. And then after that, you start seeing the personalized accounts being dumped in. So that would indicate that 8/19/2004 would be our installation date. Does that make sense to you guys?
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Then next it's asking us to look for information on the time zone. Where do you think we can find that? Well, it looks like it's in there. Doesn't look like it's listed on our OS. These are our communication accounts. Maybe we should try some metadata.
The MST for in
Web
metadata wasn't.
history. Oh, not to cut you off, Steve. Sorry.
I mean, I was just gonna say in metadata, the MST wasn't talking about Mountain Standard, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was in web history and I can see a date accessed which shows MDT.
Yep, there you go. Good idea. So yeah, it looks like we've got someone in Mountain. And then I'm looking to see what other areas you might be able to see that. So
Seems like most of them are MDT.
yeah, MDT, web searches, MDT. Good job.
Now I'm kind of curious, what the fuck is MDT?
All right, so, and we've seen this in a couple of places. And I'm gonna have you guys, you can tell me where to click on mine so you can see it. So hopefully you guys have caught this. Who is the registered owner? Did you happen to catch the area where they listed that?
Mr. Evil.
Yep, where was that under? Did you see?
Uh,
OS accounts.
Yeah, OS counts.
Yeah, there's OS accounts. We have the login Mr. Evil. We also have that is your what do you call it? Your login name. We also have operating system data, might have it in some of the places in there. And there you
Owner
go.
Greg Shart.
Now you have Mr. Evil, and now you can combine, say, hey, look at that. We now have Mr. Evil / Greg Shart.
I just put Mr. Evil as the account name, computer account name.
Yeah, the point on this one is the registered owner is listed as Greg Shart, right?
That
And
fucking
then they
name.
ask what the computer account name is next. That's your Mr. Evil. But the biggest point they try to do on this one is they want to link that Mr. Evil to a person, right? And well, there you go, right there. This idiot has his name listed under owner, so that's a definite indication that they can link Greg Shart and
The guy
Mr. Evil
who's
to each other.
listed his name as Mr. Evil and then does evil shit with his computer.
And then also has the brilliant idea of listing his actual name as if it is indeed his legal name. And it looks like from the scenario, it turns out that it is in the scenario his legal name. All right. The next one they're asking about is the primary domain name. Well, where do we think we have that?
Would it be in his emails somewhere?
Well, there's two right here. That's a good option. So you can see anything after that @ sign right there. Those are technically domains. So if you look there, we have a stanford.edu domain. And then we have the other one. So that'd be a definite, hey, maybe we should go look for this guy in the Stanford. So on this for this one, I am going to put stanford.edu and then that Iverson, where it has as Iverson. Yeah, no, I am recording, so please, I'm gonna have to go blank out a couple of spots already.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let's see. Stanford EDU, and then the other one that you see here is that VSF, that really long one, but I'm guessing that one is a made-up domain. So I would go with Stanford EDU. I'm betting. Then we also have some interesting stuff over here in the metadata. I just like to go through and look at some of these just to see what's going on. Also, one of the things that that they frequently go to is to check out what were they doing recently. Well, hey, look at that. In recent documents, there's a link anonymizer right there. And you can see where the path is for that. And it looks like he was using the Mr. Evil account. Yep, on that one too. He
I
was
do
using
have a
Ghost here.
question.
Yep,
With the metadata under data artifacts,
yep.
where is it pulling these from? Like there's a lot of PDFs, there's HTML stuff. Is this what he downloaded and accessed?
If you look, when you click on the metadata, you can see the path of the file that it's pulled from.
Okay, so it's just, yeah, I guess
That
leftover
one's,
data, or not
yeah, it's
leftover, but
this one's from a NetBus RTF file is what that one's from. So it's just the metadata on that actual file that it's
okay.
pulling. Yeah. So.
Oh, I think I figured out why the zip bomb and everything isn't coming through. My Windows Defender is freaking out right now.
Oh, I didn't think of that. What I did when I installed this is I told it to ignore it. And then I also created an exception. So that I didn't think of that, but yeah, some of this stuff that it's scanning when it's coming through, if you've got, it's possible that your Windows Defender might be blocking your full results. I usually create exceptions for everything. So I created one for autopsy, and you may have to go in and create one for that. And another problem that I have that I didn't think about, there are certain antivirus programs that don't particularly like this. And I use basically the bare minimum. I use Avast, but there are other ones that sometimes you have to shut them off for a period of time while you're running this. So that could be the problem with some of them too. You may check your, like if you have a quarantine section, you may need to check it and make sure that it isn't freaking out and trying to quarantine part of this. Okay. So it looks like it wants to know when the last recorded computer shutdown date and time would be. So looking at my information that I have here, where do you think you guys would find that?
Run programs.
These are the programs that were run most recently. Well, not most recently, but these are just the names of the programs. These are date and times. And if you look, these are the counts of the times where it was run. Like we've got Net Stumbler and a bunch of other some stuff here. It's a definite, remember how I said nobody has a legitimate reason for using Telnet unless it's for something else? Well, that's a dead giveaway there. But nope, I'm not seeing last reported shutdown in time. Maybe. Does it have it an operating system? I don't think so, but let's check. Nope.
OS accounts should have it. If you click on Mr. Evil, or I guess we're assuming that Mr. Evil is the account
Assuming
he's
that's the
using.
most recent one. So yep, that's a good one. And if you look, let's see.
Yeah, the last login.
Yeah, I
You'll
was gonna
have
say the last login
shutdown.
shows us.
There you go, right there. Well, won't let me highlight it, but there you go, right there at the top.
Well, would
So
we
can you
use
guys
that?
all, you guys can you see what that says?
Yeah,
Okay.
but would we use that because that's the last login of the last recorded shutdown?
That's the last login, not the last shutdown. I don't remember that in the OS. And I'm blanking on, let's see. Well, that's interesting. This person says you can't find that through autopsy. It looks like it's in the files. Remember how to run a file search. Where is that at? It's in volume. Oh, that's why. It's in EO1, volume 2. I know the location of it, but I can't remember where we find just the straight up files. It's the file you need is Windows System 32 prefetch. And I think I remember correctly. Just go straight. I can go straight on there.
Would you say Windows System 32 prefetch?
Yeah, I'm bringing up it's a long path. So give me just 1 second here. Windows System 32 config software Microsoft so yeah, so Windows System 32 config. Where's my
You had it down right there.
There's my config. And then software. Am I in the wrong? Windows, or Windows? Okay, yeah, system profile. Sorry, I just noticed the gigantic triangle on that, and that usually means that there's yep, there's a notable analysis result score on that one. What's that system on? Nope, software. So it is under software. Then application. Prefetch. Super helpful of you to be exactly where I don't have you. There should be a prefetch file in here, but I'm not seeing it. Unless it's another. Super awesome. So that's the fun part of getting on here when they move stuff around for the new versions. Sorry about this. That's okay. You guys get to see where new stuff is too. On these, there should be a file folder in here for prefetch that shows us. There is the date and time, but that is somewhere under one of these is a folder that says prefetch, and we just have to figure out where it is. Lovely. Anyway, I have the value because I know where it is, but finding the exact same spot unless they have. You're supposed to be able to look under the software. Here, let me show you the section that I'm looking at here. All right, can you guys see that? You should be able to drop down in here and see the application prefetch, and then there's an exit time, and you can see those, the nice and rounded and red, which I'm sure once we dig in through there, you can see it. And this is for, this is actually for this exact one. So this is the date and time that you would need for that. So 8/27, 2004, 10/46. So this is your, I'm going to copy that into the answer key, but that is the date and time that you would be looking for. So what other kind of stuff can we look at? Well, they
Next on
want to
the
know,
list.
huh?
Next one on the list.
The next one on the list, how many accounts are recorded? So we looked at that. Do you remember where that was? Let me get back up into here so you don't have to. If you look under, basically all you're doing on this one is just
OS
counting.
accounts.
Yeah, just counting how many OS accounts you have here. So
Oh, yours is different than mine.
what does your show?
Mine has 5 accounts. Got administrator, or in order, administrator, Mr. Evil, support underscore 388, blah 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 blah, guest, and help assistant.
Is these are created by their like internet or network. Because if you look, it says NT Authority.
Yeah, net time authority.
Yeah. So the other ones you'd be looking for, they're actually the 5.
Oh.
So let me go look at the answer key because I think that is what they would do.
Also, I'm not sure what the O value is up top where it separates all the columns, but for me, all the O values are 0, whereas yours are 1.
Yeah, it says 5 accounts. So there you go. That's what it was listed on. O values would where it says SC's O on there.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
occurrences.
Yeah, that's occurrences. Does anyone else? Do you all have 1 or 0?
I have zeros.
Wow, that is. And you're all using the same version that I'd have, right?
Yep.
I have no
Maybe
idea
we should
why
check
we-
the hash value.
Yeah, maybe you guys had a different version that, because I pulled mine. Well, I pulled mine from the same section. Well, you should have 1 because, you should have at least 1 version of that account.
Straight zeros across the board.
That is nuts.
Does anyone have ones besides Teach?
And I have no idea what I did to install mine that was so much different than yours.
I honestly don't know because like we went through the install with you and did it
Yeah,
as a group. So
My vote is the Windows Defender freaking out.
it might be that.
could be it.
It might also be that mine still get it, like it's analyzed file or all the files, like mine's still showing iOS analyzer.
Yeah, mine I left just sit there to analyze and open for quite a long time. So that, I don't know if that would cause the difference, because if you guys just shut it down while it was partway through and it hadn't finished doing all of the files yet, that would cause problems.
Yeah, see. I'm sharing my screen, but mine's still got the iOS load.
Sorry. Okay, there you go. Now you can.
Yeah, see, mine's still got those 2
Yeah.
built in.
Yeah.
So that might be it.
If all of those aren't done, it would come across differently.
Hmm.
Not just the progress bar. If you look at mine, you can see down on the bottom, there's nothing. There's no warnings, there's no files running, there's nothing. That means, because it'll go through the progress bar, and the progress bar is it loading the files from the image in. Yeah, that means it's still running something in the background. So if you close it while it is still working, what it's doing is it's parsing your files out, and parsing those files can take quite a while.
I can,
I'm not
let's see, I
altogether.
can share my screen real quick just to show you,
Yeah,
but
go
I have
ahead.
the warnings, but it appears that like everything
Oh,
is done processing. It's just error
Uh,
encountered. And like I said, I think it's from the Windows Defender freaking out and not
That
actually
could be,
letting the files go through. I think it analyzed the files, Windows Defender saw it, freaked out, deleted it, and then there's an error now that it's no longer able to analyze the file.
that, well, it's coming from an image, but yeah, it could be Defender. I mean, my Defender, I have a bunch of stuff turned off, so it won't do things like that.
Yeah, I have mine fully enabled, so I could turn it off and rerun it. It, I mean, it processed pretty quickly, so
Yeah, it should not be a quick process. That and you are missing I mean, at least your stuff is actually showing
Mhm.
more across the board. But I would not be surprised if it is indeed Windows Defender that is giving you the issues. What do you use for your antivirus?
Just Defender.
Okay, so yeah, it's definitely something in Defender then. You may have to, at least while you're just doing this, you may have to shut some stuff down and then turn it back on later.
Oh yeah, I'll absolutely make an exception or just turn it off and turn it
Yeah,
on later. But yeah, I'll turn it off and rerun it and see if I get any differences, and I'll post about it in the
yeah,
Discord.
because that looks like it's missing quite a few things. And I would not be surprised, you guys, if it was Windows Defender,
Yeah, it's
because
usually
you know
Defender.
Windows Defender, it's super helpful. So yeah, you guys can try and rerun it with Windows Defender. Um, unfortunately, that's the fun part of some of the, like I said, forensic tools and Windows Defender, they do not like to talk to each other. So okay, if you want to, thank you, unshare the screen. Um, how's everyone else's running through? Gwen, is yours still, did you reprocess yours, Gwen? Yours is reprocessing? Okay, so it's still chugging along. Okay. I suggest that we just look at mine because I left mine just sit because I know how long it takes them. So that's probably why mine took everything and I shut down all the stuff there. So I would rerun I blame iframe. Very funny. I would suggest that you try to rerun your modules after you maybe tweak your Defender settings and make sure that you have everything just minimized for that time period while you're running it. What I did was I just let mine run while I was doing something else, and then it just chugged along, and we did that. So let me get back to my screen here. I can at least show you guys how to do this stuff, and you guys can, I can tell you where do you think it's going to go, and we can go, look through things. So we can at least do that. So we have 5 total accounts. Then what's the name of the user who
most
mostly
used
uses the
user.
computer? And that one would be how many instances you see of the name. And I'm pretty sure you guys have figured out the one that we see there the most is that Mr. Evil account name, because you see it all over your email messages, your installed programs, and your other things that we were looking at. There you go. Username right here, Mr. Evil, Mr. Evil. So that's a pretty good indicator. There's some that don't have them, but the majority of them have Mr. Evil in there. So that would be my answer on there, Mr. Evil. All right. Next, we have, who was the last user to log on to the computer? Where do you think we find that? Yep. So when you're looking in that OS accounts, we kind of already talked about this one. You can go look in who on last login right here, and it'll tell you the last login date. So you can just go through and look. And this one, you can tell that one was a one that was just created but not actively used. This one's disabled. This is a normal built-in account. So that tells you that one right there. That's going to be your answer. All right, so the next thing we're looking at is they're talking about searching. So this is, they're talking about using this keyword search and keyword list option. Autopsy, that, see, now that would have been hilarious. And I think nowadays you could probably have gotten someone to reword it with that. So anyway, we have keyword lists. And these are lists. Did someone have a question? No. Okay.
I had actually a quick question just to kind of see on my progress. How many under like keyword hits, how many email addresses did you have?
Let's see. Keyword hits. There you go.
Yeah, I'm barely at like 8,000. So I'm just making sure it's still chugging along because I'm not
Yeah.
seeing any progress. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so when you do a keyword search, you can do an exact match, a substring match, a regular expression, and you can save your search results. I usually don't try to do exact matches, but we can see what that does here. So why don't we look and see? The reason they have the equal signs in these is because this that name is used. People know what this has been out for so long that make sure I'm spelling that right. Let's take a look here. There we go. And here's some of that. And there are different ways you can do the search list. You can add plus signs and things like that. But the reason that is in there with the equal signs, you don't need to use those for the searches. They did that because people had the web crawlers and things like that, and they put that in there. Okay, so we did a keyword search, and I did hit, and you can do it with different things. You can do like a space with his name. But if you look here, here's an artifact with just his name. This one looks like it's a registry entry. And then you can just scroll down through and look at this stuff. And I always go through and look at just all the, what are the different tags here? What is this stuff in here that we've got? And a lot of times when you go through and look at these, you'll see, there you go right here. So we have this one right here. It has reg owner Greg Shart. Then when you go over here, the actual name is literally linked into Mr. Evil. So there is one file right there that shows the name and that username literally tied together. And here's another one. This one's a LAN setup log, it looks like. And again, Mr. Evil is listed for that one. So these are the types of things that they use to tie usernames together with the actual legal names of the people that are doing that. Now, did I see there's a lot of questions on the keyword hits here? I can bring that one back up so you guys can see it.
We were just comparing the numbers that I had
There you go.
versus what you had.
That's what I have in mind.
Yeah, mine's still not pulling up a lot of the interesting items yet. It's still gonna take a bit.
Yeah, mine took probably hours. I'm not altogether sure because I left it running while I was doing some other stuff. That's the problem when you're doing some of these. I had one image file that was, well, it was massive. This is very small compared to that, and it took days for it to parse out. So, I mean, luckily we're not doing something like that, but
Yeah, I'm assuming if this doesn't work, because I already went into Windows Defender, gave an exception, but if this isn't working, I'm probably gonna have to turn off Windows Defender and then just try it like you were saying.
yeah, you can always turn it off temporarily and turn it back on. I've had some people that have had to do that.
Yeah, but wouldn't making the exception still
It
make it work?
should work. That's, I have that in there. I have an exception for I went out and looked up the autopsy exe file. But sometimes because autopsy has separate modules that run in it, sometimes Windows Defender gets stuck with those. So it's possible that you may have to turn it off and let it run. That's one of those, yay, thank you for that lovely feature, Microsoft. Okay, I think it asked us what the actual file was on this one. Okay, it wants to know, one of the files proves that he is Mr. Evil and the administrator of this computer. It wants to know what the file is and what program it relates to. So looking at these, there's him, it's listed as the owner on there. Don't know if it has the Mr. Evil listed on this one or not. No, not that one. I know we had it on one of these in here. Okay, so there's one. There's his name. Mr. Evil. But I'm not sure if that actually says that he's the administrator. No, this is normal user account on this one, so. think the closest thing that we've got here is this look at land log here. Because it looks like in order to do this, they are having to get into registry information, which you'd have to be able to be an administrator to do that. So there's our file name. And then it was asking us what it was related to. Just looking to see if that is part of that one too. Oh, this one's got some nice, if you look at this one, we have some very nice, errors that pop up here. If you're trying to figure out what he's doing, he's looking to see if he can reset registry and file service and stuff like that.
Totally not sus.
Yeah, right. And here's our some of our information on that. And that one's the Mr. Evil account. But yeah, if you look at this one, he's doing this is registry changes that he's trying to do on this one. And he's got that LAN exe program file. So it definitely goes over to Mr. Evil. And you would have to have an administrative account to do that. Yeah, it looks like the look at, I'm looking at what they've got listed on here. It looks like they have that look at LAN and that I run in INI file as our those look janky. So this one and this one are the ones that they say they used to tie him to that. So this one, the I run in INI, and then this look at LAN. Those two are your answers there for the what exactly what files are there that can list that name, Greg Shart and Mr. Evil together, and what the files are and what do they do, what program do they go to. That's that. I think the name of the program is Look at LAN exe. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. Okay, so we're about halfway through. And there are some other ones here that we can work on next time. So do you guys feel like you're getting a feel for how to kind of troll through this stuff? And other than, I know a bunch of you are having to redo your digest, but do you feel it kind of like you're seeing what stuff is when you do? But the biggest one here that is a really good tool here is this keyword search. Just remember, there you go. So what happens when we look up Mr. Evil? Ah, look at that. We got all sorts of stuff that pops up. You can also add in You can put them together. See if that brings up different things. Yep. No, don't see anything there. Well, maybe we'll put an underscore in. No, but you can put a plus sign in there. No, no, okay, well, that one just wants that one. So like you can try different ways of writing it out and oh, the reload to do, okay. If you're doing the yeah, you said it right there, you tools, run ingest modules, and then you select your thing again. I have everything. And I don't know if this might be different for you. On the top, I have all files directory and unallocated space selected here. I have everything selected except cyber triage, malware, and Plasso. And then you just hit finish and it'll go for it. Does that make sense? Any of the yellow triangles. The yellow triangles, when you run into certain things, will tell you. Let's see if I can find one. I think I saw those in email. Oh, you mean when you go to the tools, this thing? Not sure why mine does the yellow. Probably because that's what I ran previously. But yeah, I don't know why it has those on there for that. Does everybody have that issue? Do you all have yellow triangles? No yellow triangles? Okay, so it doesn't seem to matter because some people have them, some people don't. Okay. All right, so that part at least. I think that's on mine is because I've run through and they've already come all the way out, but I'm not sure if that's exactly why it's listed that way. No, that's the separate viewer. Okay, I don't need that. Remember how I talked about generating reports? You can run a timeline and generating reports on here. I don't know. Does the timeline editor pop up show on this screen, or am I going to have to share that separately with you guys? Can you see that? It's already up. So if you can't see it, then I need to reshare the screen. Okay, that's what I was worried about. Okay, so this is what happens when you click on that timeline editor. And you can see this one just shows you, it breaks everything out. And let's see if I can make this bigger. There we go. Down here on the bottom is when you're starting to see like your web bookmarks and stuff and information start. And it's starting to give you a timeline of as those things are starting to come through. So that's what this one does. And then you can do, let me share this screen. Later on, we'll run through this part together on Friday, but oops, I accidentally closed that window. Okay, can you see the generator report window? Does that show? Okay, good. Okay, so this is a result. It gives you the results about everything that comes through. The HTML report is actually the nicest one that I've seen. And you create your header and your footer. And this is something, so we'll just do, and I'll show you what it looks like. And then you, okay, yes, I want to do that on this. And then you get these here. Do you want all of the results? Do you want just the tagged results? Do you want specific results? So this is how you get in and make your report. So say you want to do all the results. Let's let it run here. And I'll show you what it looks like. Let me stop this share and then show you what it looks like on. Okay, so as you can see, it comes out really nicely. And it has your navigation over here on the left-hand side. And, you know, it's got everything nice and broken out. It looks really, really nice. So this is, once you get it done, what it looks like. And I'll walk you through how to do this again tomorrow. Okay, so I think we're at a stopping point for today for this portion. Tomorrow we will go look at the NIC card and IP addresses and things like that and where to find them. Does anyone have any questions before I stop the recording? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and talk to you guys about homework.